Can Sandstorm survive in 2020? Well, before we delve into the discussion, we often hear about battlefield moments, and I want to share with you briefly a Sandstorm moment which you will often experience in the game. You know, the moments where you run into a desperate situation and think, shit, how am I still alive? How did I just kill them? And then go on to secure the point.
Got it! Get moved up to strike this target! Station, this is Observer. You're gonna need a gun run to this location.
Yes, I have a lot of love for this game, and it shines best when you are in chaotic moments like that, and that A10 sound is just incredible. Anyway, there's a lot going for Sandstorm, and it's definitely in my top 3 first-person shooters of all time, but I feel there are things that need to be addressed. First, competitive mode is borderline dead. Not sure if it's the infrastructure, i.e. the servers, or just players not interested, but no one in their right mind is going to wait for what feels like a lifetime to find a match. And when you do find a match, it's sometimes toxic and feels just like, why have I bothered? I'll just play normal casual firefight instead. Which brings me on to content and game modes. Now, what I really like about Rainbow Six Siege is the variety of game modes offered within casual and ranked rounds. I don't feel we have enough variety in Sandstorm, so it can become a bit samey. Not that that's a massive problem, because the general weapon play, tension, and just how it makes you feel is what keeps me coming back for more. What would be cool is to introduce the likes of maybe a hostage rescue or VIP escort mission that could either be AI or player control. Maybe a bombing mission, destroying a single or multiple weapon caches via timed explosives. Mix it up and give the players some variety. I'm sure that is totally achievable. Up against other FPS titles which seem to be constantly churning out content, Sandstorm has a tough job to attract and retain players. The last content update was around September 2019, and I believe they are planning an update in the spring to include a new map called Power Plant, which is seen here. I'm wondering if Sandstorm's console port is holding back PC development, as from my understanding they are struggling to get the game to work within the constraints of console hardware. I do hope they can get it working on the consoles to open it up to a larger player base, but if the hardware is truly that limiting, maybe they'll wait for the next gen consoles. Who knows? What I have noticed though is the number of my Steam friends that have stopped playing, citing lack of new content, and that's a worry. I really hope they aren't relying purely on the mod community to sort this out whenever the mod tools go live. We still have problems with bugs and balancing. Balancing in particular is still not right, and I sometimes find myself in games where there's clearly too much experience on one side, which causes the lower ranked players to leave. This just isn't fun for either team and must be sorted. Bugs are still present, but we know the devs are doing what they can to track and fix them, especially the desync problems, which I'm noticing more and more. I'm not sure if recent performance fixes have improved the situation for lower end hardware, as I'm running a high end rig. Just for info, when I upgraded from an i7 3770K to a rig based around an i9 9900K, all my performance problems in the game were eliminated. Now, you shouldn't have to throw everything at the game, including the kitchen sink, to get acceptable performance, so hopefully the recent fixes have resolved the problems for those on lower end hardware. Will this still be a thing next year? Well, I'm pretty confident it will, especially if they get it launched on consoles and attract more players into the game. Will there be a big competitive scene on PC? Not so sure right now, as ranked just feels really quite neglected, but then so does the game's PC development as a whole, which is most likely due to the console port. My big concern is, in a fiercely competitive FPS market churning out content left, right and centre, current players may decide to go elsewhere for their FPS adrenaline fix. Only time will tell.